make a chicken of the woods and shrimp Thai style curry. So what I'm going to do is start by sauteing down some of this ginger garlic turmeric paste I made with a bird's eye chili, shishito, sort of late pepper season mix I made here. So this is the spicy part. And then I'm going to add some nice savory notes with this saute here, which is a mixture of, what have we got in here? Garlic, chili, shallot, lemongrass, all that kind of good stuff, along with some shrimp things. And we're going to get that all kind of sauteed down, and I'm going to add this beautiful stock that I made out of shrimp shells and green onion and garlic and ginger and a bunch of lemongrass too. And I'll add all my components for the curry. We're also going to make a tamarind rice. So I hydrated some tamarind pulp here, and I'll use that as part of the liquid to cook my jasmine rice. And I'll, also go in the curry. We got a little chayote squash. This one's always funny. Kind of looks like an old man face. And some beautiful eggplants, maybe a little red pepper. Finish it off with some of the Thai lime leaf and cilantro, green onion, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna get working here. I've got to cut up a few more eggplants, and my board's all full of stuff here, so I'm gonna come over to the side and just chop a couple eggplants, show you guys. Whoops. Let's try rotating you this way around. Sorry, I got my little streaming setup. I gotta give myself some more flexibility there. Okay, so here's how I like to cut eggplants for this kind of thing. Kind of haphazardly and just random shapes. So that's the way I like them. And the curry, don't think too hard about it, just chop. Kind of rotate, run your knife through, get some different sized pieces. Kind of fun. It's also how I like to cut my eggplants for stir fry. All right. So I think 3 eggplants are probably enough for this dish, but I got more in case I want to use them. So boom, there we go. All right, we're coming back to the board here and figure out what we need. What's up next, right? Okay. It's really important when you cook to do what's called your mise en place. It means, in French, translates as everything in its place, or everything has its place. And that's kind of what I've done here, is I've set out all the ingredients for myself and tried to figure out, everything in front of me is all here. I can't forget the components of the dish. And thus I won't forget to add something to a curry, which honestly, curries come together pretty quickly. So the actual cooking part won't take that long compared to some dishes. But that means I gotta have everything, at hand and ready to go. So I'm just trying to go over in my head what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with this ginger garlic turmeric paste. I'm gonna add our chili paste here and get that working. We'll add some saute and some shrimp fry. Really back up the savoriness of this. This also has some palm sugar and a little bit of water in it to get this thing all kind of working. Probably gonna cut my shrimp up just a little bit smaller, but I can do that while we are cooking. And also gonna use a little bit of this ginger turmeric garlic paste in my rice, I think. And I have some rice off on the side that is soaking and getting nice and ready. It's a good quality jasmine rice. So I'm gonna take a big old scoop of this stuff. There's quite a bit of oil in this already, so I'm not going to add any oil. I'm just going to see how far this gets me. But I'm putting a really healthy scoop of that stuff. I don't know if I want to use all this pepper paste. Ooh, that's pretty spicy. I put a lot of bird's eye chili in there. Pretty sweet, but it's also pretty spicy. So I'm going to put about that much in to start. So there's still quite a bit in there, but I don't necessarily want to shoot all the way, just in case it turns out to be really, really hot. I love spicy Thai food, but I don't like Thai food that is literally painful to eat because it's so spicy. Everyone has a different heat threshold. Today I'm cooking for myself, but I'm gonna, wait to see how much this sauté stuff brings. And the sauté is very similar to kind of all the ingredients that are going in here already. So this is really just doubling up the kinds of flavors. And then we're going to go hard on the shrimp edition. So this is sort of like a thing you'll see in Filipino markets. And it's basically shrimp, sugar, salt, oil, vinegar. This stuff's intensely fishy, but that'll be a nice core of flavor at the center of this dish. Is curry, and just let this all kind of cook down here for a little bit. Whew, smell on this is incredible. Alright. Well, that's working. I'm also going to get a pot started to cook some rice. So I can have a little bit of rice with my meal. Kind of interesting. Sort of looks like ketchup and mustard. It's not. It smells very different. That's kind of what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just putting a little scoop of my ginger garlic turmeric paste into a pot over here. I'm going to saute that for a minute or two as well to develop some flavors for the rice. There's a lot of flavor going on in this base here. Sorry about the loud noise. Yeah. So that's coming along. Like I said, once we kind of dump in the liquid, this will all move quite quickly. If anything, the rice will probably take longer. So I'm going to try to get the rice working here as well. There's just the garlic, turmeric, ginger paste over here. Emptying my rice into a pot. It's not really that cool looking, so I'll just keep you pointed at that stir fry there. Be over there in just a moment to get it moving again. There we go. Okay, I can smell the sugar's caramelizing a little bit, the peppers are getting cooked down, the ginger garlic turmeric stuff is really starting to work. Excellent. So here's my rice. We're just gonna stir fry this around for a minute or two before I add my liquid. Try to pearl the rice just a little bit. You can see the color coming from that turmeric. It's pretty. Ooh. Okay. So we're gonna add add that. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit, just a little bit more of this. And what's left here is going to be, I'm going to use to cook my my rice. Once I strain out my tamarind paste, I will add that as well. Put a little bit more of this in. There we go. Move you over. Okay. The rice is making nice crispy noises over here. I like that. You're doing good things, but you need some liquid, my friend. Okay. I'll make myself a thing to cover my rice as well. So I'm just going to bring it over here, show you this real quick. So I've got my stock, and I've got my tamarind pulp, and I'm going to just strain tamarind pulp into there. Push it a little bit through the sieve. Okay. Take my tamarind pulp, pop that back in the jar. Okay, cool. Now I get a nice little bit of color and extra savoriness and sourness. The unique flavor of tamarind will be really nice in this jasmine rice. So, just bring you guys over here, show you what this looks like as it's going down. So I got about a cup and a half of liquid, which should hopefully be enough. I might add just a tiny bit more liquid here once I see how the rice looks in the pan. I'm historically not great at cooking rice, but I do usually do a little bit better when I saute it ahead of time like this. So I'm going to give that just a scooch more liquid. And I'm going to pop a lid on that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of let that come up to a boil real quick, and then I'm going to knock it down and let it simmer for about 15 minutes until it absorbs all the liquid, and then we'll stir it up. Okay, we're going to get moving on the curry here, because this is going to take a little bit of time for this whole thing to come together. I'm going to crack open my coconut milk and add a bunch of this. I was looking at the nutrition facts on this thing, and it says there are 9 servings, 100 calories per serving. So there's 900 calories in this thing of coconut milk, which makes me be like, man, should I really use all this coconut milk? And that was my plan. It's like, God, it's almost like 1,000 calories worth of just coconut milk. Yeah, it might be enough. Let's see. Let's let it rock for a little bit. Do that. And I'm going to just jack the heat way up here. So we want to get this nice and boiled and emulsified. These little pieces of coconut to melt in there. And make a really nice curry. Okay, so some of this will be just about the order in which we put things in. So while that is cooking away, I'm going to bring you guys back here. And oops, sorry, let me get the mic back on. We're going to cut up our chayote squash. So this is a really cool vegetable. You find this at Mexican markets. It's got a little seed in the middle. You can pop that out. But it's not much. Oop, the rest of it you can eat. So, which way do I want to cut this? How do I want to cut this? I'm going to cut slices like this probably just go across. Kind of a boring cut, but it's okay. I do have a more exciting like slicer thing I could use that makes these like cool crinkle cuts, but I think this will be all right. I don't need anything too fancy. It's just me that I'm cooking for, so. All right, looks good. So we got our chayote squash. That's probably the thing that needs the longest time to cook. So I'm gonna get that added in to my broth here. So sorry, I'll come around and it's starting to get nice and bubbly there. And I'll just, whoops, drop some stuff on the floor. Don't mind that. Okay. There is our chayote squash added in. And while I'm at it, I'm going to just throw the chicken of the woods in and let that start boiling away. So that's step one of our curry. Well, I guess step one was sauteing everything, but now the curry is working. Things are cooking. It's starting to look really nice. Okay, that's boiling away. We're going to come back here and we're going to just chop up our shrimp real quick. The big yellow thing you're asking about is what's known as a Buddha's hand. It's a citron. It's a kind of citrus. Has no pulp. It's just all pith. It's got amazing aroma, and I love Buddha's hand. Cut these up in three pieces. So triple the bites of shrimp that I get in my curry. Space out that meat. A lot of vegetables and mushrooms too. So, oops. I did devein a shrimp, but I just found a vein in one of the shrimp, so apparently I didn't do too good a job. It's alright though. So I used the shrimp shells that I took off of these and I toasted them and made a stock. And that's what's in the curry and the rice. So it's a great reminder that if you get an animal and you're going to eat it, you can use all parts of that animal and make something more delicious. Because making a shrimp stock definitely helped increase the depth of flavor in this dish. And that's a great strategy you can always use. It's just a little extra work. Gives you a lot of reward. And I'm super into that, especially when you are using all parts of an animal. I feel like you're kind of honoring the animal's life, even if it's just a shrimp. All life deserves respect to some degree or another. And I think often enough we don't show that degree of respect to living things, especially when it comes to cooking and eating them. And we certainly don't respect a lot of our livestock. The lives that a lot of like chickens and stuff lead are not great. Shrimp aren't really that much better, but, you know, we can all do better, as can commercial cultivators. I have a lot of issues around cultivating shrimp. Anyhow, there we go. Here's a nice bubbling curry. So we got the chayote squash and chicken of the woods in there. Okay. So next goes our eggplant. Add that in, let it go for a little while. I'll drop in a couple of my curry leaves there too. Well, those are lime leaves, but put them in my curry. There are a thing called curry leaves. They're excellent, but they're more for Indian food. Yeah, looking good. And that color. All the red from the chilies, the yellow from the turmeric. I'm gonna take a little taste of this. I might add some spices. Might not. We'll see. Could go massaman with it. Could add some peanut butter. Also, good time to check the spice level because I could add quite a bit more chili. Oh, that is, that's hot. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna add more chili. Woo! Yowza! Those bird's eyes are really, really damn spicy. Woohoo! Here's a bunch of green onion. Add a little extra fresh lemongrass in here just because I really love the lemongrass flavor. Lean into the Thai thing. I'll probably hit this with some really good quality fish sauce. Throw that in there. Big healthy pinch of MSG there just to make it really savory. I'm just cutting up a red pepper in the background here. Add that in. Yeah, curry leaves are a really interesting ingredient. They kind of taste like sulfury, like cook down onions. So there's two things you use in Indian food, asaveda powder and curry leaves, that both have this very kind of sulfury character, and it's part of what gives Indian dishes a lot of like deep savoriness, is that sulfury character, because it is very oniony, and usually you cook down the onions a lot. This is looking nice. Very nice. I'm going to add a little bit more of my coconut milk here. All right. Let's see, how are we coming along here? I guess we'll drop these. I don't want to drop them too early, because if you put them in too early, they'll lose all their texture. So I'll kind of let them sit on top here for a little bit. I'm just gonna let that all finish cooking through as the rice comes to fruition. I want to make sure those eggplants get nice and tender. This is all looking pretty good. I'm going to take a photo for myself. Yeah, you could use dehydrated mushrooms in this, or fresh ones. All the above. Can I use frozen chicken in the woods, because that's what I had around. Doing a little taste test here, see if I want more fish sauce, more sugar, more herbs, where this is at. Just a little bit of plain old salt. It's good. It's very savory. Nice spice backbone there. I'm gonna just finish putting all that damn coconut milk in, because if I save a little bit, I won't use it. If I put this all in, it'll make a nice thick curry. Cutting up a little bit of tomato I have here. I'm going to use that to finish the curry. I also have some grapes, and honestly, it's going to sound weird, but putting some grapes into a curry is definitely the move. I saw John Kung, who's a phenomenal chef that I know through TikTok. There's an interview of us here on YouTube chatting away about stuff. But he made a video where he recommended putting grapes in curry, and I was like, that's kind of weird. But like, maybe I'll try it out someday. And I did it, and it was killer. I loved having grapes in my curry, so I'm going to pull off a couple of grapes, put them in the curry. And put them in at the very end. You don't really want them to cook down. You kind of want to keep a little of that texture and flavor of the grape, so it's nice and crispy. Kind of adds that burst of sweetness. That's a good looking pot of curry. I'm excited to eat some dinner. I'm hungry. One of these things when you set out to make an ambitious dish, it's cool, but you know, you're cooking and you're like, man, I kind of wish this was done so I could eat it. But you gotta trust the process. Aha, speaking of which, there's the timer for my rice. So that was a moment of truth. I'll give this a little stir. Okay, that's doing its thing. Everybody looking pretty happy here. I'm gonna put those peppers in a minute or two early, but that's alright. It's okay if the peppers aren't totally crispy. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Yeah, there's no moisture in the bottom. That's good. Rice looks cooked. It's kind of fluffy. There's a little bit of crust on the bottom, so that's all good. Give this a bit of a mix around. If anything, I probably put a little too much water in, but grains are still separate, so that's fine. I'll let that sit here and just steam away for another minute or two. And now we've got this working. We're pretty much ready to go. You guys ready to see how this gets finished? I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I want to do. Taste one last minute of taste testing here. Okay, but I know I'm going to finish this with some lime. I'm going to add a little more fish sauce. Get a little cheeky, just add a tiny bit more of that very, very spicy chili paste I made. And yeah, go ahead and add some shrimp here. Get that mixed in. So I'm going to turn the heat down. I'm going to just want to barely let the shrimp kind of poach through. At the same time, I'm also going to add my grapes and my tomatoes and a bunch of this green onion to finish. And put in a nice big healthy handful of cilantro there. And I'll just kind of stir this thing through. It's pretty much done. So our chayote looks nice and translucent. The eggplant's nice and soft. The red pepper still has its color. The shrimp are just kind of slowly getting cooked through by the heat of the broth here. The grapes and the tomatoes won't break down too much because I put them in at the very end. But yeah, that's a tasty looking thing of curry you got there, huh? All right. Pretty excited about that. Yeah, I mean, they put eggplant in a lot of Thai dishes, so it's a very common addition to any curry. You know, it just soaks up the flavor of what you cook it in. And these are different from the Sicilian eggplant. It's more of an Asian, Japanese, Thai-style eggplant. And they're mild. They're not really bitter. They're soft. Actually, I guess the Thai eggplants are usually green and round and super seedy, so these are very much more the sort of Japanese-style eggplant. But it's a good one. You see the shrimp's nice and cooked through, but not overcooked. I'm gonna just cut the heat on that and serve this up. All right, myself ready to go. So we'll start out here with a little bit of our tamarind rice. So a spoonful of this hot yellowy rice, little bits of burnt crispy bits in there. I like that in my rice. Looks pretty good. A little sourness there from the tamarind. Okay. I'm just gonna use the same spoon. Ladle up some of my curry here. Get some more shrimps in there. Pull out those lime leaves because I'm not actually going to eat those, but they are great flavor enhancers. Yeah, some chicken of the woods. Get that in there. Right. That is a righteous little bowl of curry right there. Get some more soupy bits going on. A little shrimp grape combo up on top. All right, I'll give this a taste for you guys. Oops. I'll move you over here so you can see what I'm looking at. And we will taste this. First, just a little bit of rice and broth. It's hot. Oh yeah, the flavors are spot on. The heat comes through, but it's not overpowering. Let's try a little piece of shrimp here. Yeah, bouncy, meaty, not overcooked. Absolutely perfect. Shrimpy. Here's a little piece of the chicken of the woods and the chayote squash. A little curry broth there. Oh yeah. Chicken of the woods is super meaty. Basically has the texture of chicken. So I'll pair that with a piece of tomato here. Wow. That's so good. Well, that's a wrap, folks. There's a grape in my curry. That's a fun way to make curry. That is yummy. Well, it's been fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to bid everyone a wonderful good night and be well. If you'd like to learn more from me or support me, you can join my Patreon. I'll post recipes on there and talk about things on Patreon that I can't talk about on all the other platforms, including, that special kind of mushroom. I have a podcast, which you can watch here on YouTube or on any major streaming platform. I've got merch on my website, original cool designs that I've commissioned from artists that are all mushroom-based. Please follow me on all the other platforms. I got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Pinterest, iNaturalist, Discord. Oh, I have a Discord. Come join the Discord. Links to everything are in my bio on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc. Or on my website. But yeah, bid you guys adieu, be well, much love. Thanks for hanging out. One last look at that amazing chicken of the woods shrimp curry. Yum. Bye-bye.